Welcome to John and Dan Unscripted. I'm John.
And of course, I'm Dan. Hello, everyone. Glad you're with us.
Hey, Dan. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Dan, I know you're not a Sacramento native.
No.
But I'm sure you know who our guest is today. She's an icon in our community, having been a radio personality for many years and winner of multiple awards. Kitty O'Neill. Welcome, Kitty. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be with you both.
Kitty, let's get right into it. How did you get your career started in radio?
Okay. Well, I was singing in a band, and I was negotiating a contract for the owners of the Sacramento Bee, which was McClatchy. And I was meeting with the person who was organizing the event, and we were talking, and he said, gosh, you have your degree in communications, and you seem to have a lot going on. Would you be interested in working, for the Bee or McClatchy? And I was just singing at that time. I wasn't putting my degree to any kind of use necessarily. So I went down to see what they offered, and there was a radio station, KFBK, that they owned. And I said, hey, what's the deal with this radio station? And, it's news talk, and so forth. So anyway, that's where my interest was. So I applied for that job there, and it was a pretty temporary part-time job, but that's what I wanted. So that's how I got my foot in the door.
Just a follow-up question then. You went to Sac State, got a degree in journalism or broadcasting?
Yeah, communications, which included also journalism and communications and broadcasting, yeah.
Oh, very good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Kitty, I'm just curious, with all the experience that you have, what would you consider your biggest or most memorable news event that you covered? First comes to mind.
Well, sadly, tragedies are the ones that tend to impact you. My first one was the Challenger explosion, and that was at a time when we just had teletype machines, and I just remember looking at this piece of paper, and all it said was, the Challenger has exploded. And that was a huge impact. 9/11, obviously,
Sure.
Was huge. Sandy Hook really tore at me inside. I think I remember either lost it or almost lost it on the air doing that story. That was really, really rough.
Understandably.
So, those stories, the really rough ones are the ones that tend to stay in memory.
I bet.
Those were all national stories. What about maybe a local story that really touched you?
A local story that touched me. Can't really think of anything. I mean, it's been decades of events.
Sure.
We've done some positive stories, about people and their accomplishments and things that have happened in Sacramento, the opening of the Hyatt, the Tower Bridge getting painted. And there's been some really big fun things that have happened, breaking ground on certain buildings. I don't know. For me, locally, it's just been more of a slow evolution of a city that's really come into its own.
Right.
There hasn't been anything really, for me, dramatic in Sacramento, but over time, we've really just blossomed and expanded into just so many areas in art and food and music, and I just love what the city's become, actually.
Right.
Nice.
You didn't mention, and I believe I have this right, you were a producer for the Rush Limbaugh show when he was stationed here in Sacramento. Is that correct?
Yeah, he wasn't here when I got here. That was my first job, and it's called producer, and in that case, producer is pretty low level. It's basically call screening when you do that for that kind of talk show, maybe booking guests if they have guests. But Morton Downey Jr. was in that slot when I got here.
Here in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember him, but I don't remember him being here in town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he got fired.
Went off the television, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. When I was working with him, he got fired. He told a joke that would never fly today.
Wow, shocking.
Didn't do well even in the 80s. So,
Wow.
Yeah, he left, and then there was a time when there was, just I don't know, they were doing fill-ins and stuff till they found somebody that would take over, and they did, and it was this guy named Rush Limbaugh who came to town, and well, there you are, and the rest is history. But
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah, I worked with him
Wow.
for about 3 or 4 years.
Rush Limbaugh, that was a while ago. That was, he went on to, well, he was very successful here, obviously, and then went on nationally.
Oh.
Crazy big.
Oh, yeah,
And he was
no.
big here, too.
He was big here. He was big
Yeah.
everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
he changed. I think he changed talk radio as we know it, because he was really the first. You know how when you're at theater and you don't break that wall, that fourth wall, and he would do it all the time. He would talk to people. Hey, bring me so and so. He'd rustle
Right in the middle of it.
papers, make noise. I mean, it's like, what are you doing? And he had his own style. He freestyled, and he really changed things. And what an incredible career he had. Love him or hate him, he was extremely successful, and no one saw his early.
Well, you have quite the resume. I've been looking at it, and just over the years that you've done this, what keeps you going every day? How do you show up the next day and do such a great show? I know you do the drive time for KFBK and everything.
Yes, I work afternoons. I do love what I do. I mean, it's every day's. Much of it is very much the same, but much of it is very different because I never know what I'm going to be telling people about or reporting on. So
Sure.
It's always a surprise. I mean, there'll be days when it's just kind of nothing and slow, and then there's days, I remember when Michael Jackson died. It was like, what?
Yeah.
Jackson? How could that
Yeah.
possibly happen?
We all know where we were when we heard that.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like
Crazy.
that. I mean, you go to work and
O.J. Simpson,
the whole O.J.
that.
Simpson thing. And
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't know. And a lot of times you'll go in and you plan your show, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're ready to do it. And then something crazy happens out of the blue. And then you switch gears and
Right.
get into that. And I mean, that's kind of the exhilarating part of it.
You never know what you're going to.
It's definitely an interesting career, interesting work to do day to day. What advice would you give to a young person or any person who's looking at beginning a career in journalism, particularly broadcast journalism?
Well, I admire any young person that wants to do that at this point, because there are so many, just kind of rogue journalists. I mean, that set up their own sites and,
You mean kind of like this John and
kind
Dan
of like
thing?
this, like guys that just think they can do broadcast.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly.
Well,
No, but I mean, you're doing it, fun talk, but there's people who, want cred and,
Right. A friend told me to ask you that question, actually.
Oh, really? Friend?
friend of a
They
friend.
always say a friend. I'm not asking for myself.
No, of course
but,
not. Never.
Oh,
It's
right,
always,
right. Of course, John.
always
Wink,
for your
wink,
friend.
Right, right.
I think it's a harder time to get in right
Yeah.
now. But to me, the need for vetted news journalists is never been greater, because there's so much misinformation out there.
Absolutely.
So if there's somebody that really wants to maintain the integrity of, broadcast journalism, I really admire that. And just, I always tell people, just get in. That's what I did. Just
Okay.
get in. Like,
Do
take
you
bad-
have a broadcast news person that you consider to be like the model that you tried to emulate, or that you really respected? It could be from years past even. I know a lot of people say Walter Cronkite.
Yeah.
For me, it's personally John Chancellor. I thought he was the ultimate journalist. He seemed fair and very unbiased.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of those back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned two of them. Even I always liked Peter Jennings, and then he went into more of a point of view, But I always liked the way he would look down and then look up and then do that.
Mm-hmm.
He had this thing that he did. But anyway, that was a TV thing. But
It was the little things, right?
it's
It's
yeah,
a big
just
difference.
stuff they do. I like Lester Holt now. I think
Mm-hmm.
he's really good. The thing is, today news is not what it used to be when we were growing up. Today, news, more often than not, is delivered with a point of view.
Right.
And I think it's that way because that's what people want. They want to be identifying with people that have expressed things the way they want to hear them expressed. And I don't know if that's a product of the internet where every opinion is out there and everybody has a platform and you kind of want to team up with the people that, are kind of on your side. But to me, it's rare that you find a station that doesn't have some kind of, say, slant, yes.
Bias,
but,
yeah.
Or bias, but I tend to say perspective or point of view because
That's nicer.
but yeah, but you know what you're going to get, and I think people, that's not my style. I've never wanted to do that.
Right.
I am old school in that way. Now, having said that, there are times you can have a perspective depending on the stories that you cover, but I always try to at least back myself out of them enough so that I can just present the information and say, okay, here, listeners, what do you think?
Right.
Not tell them.
And I long for those days of everybody being that way, actually.
Yeah, it's just how I grew up in the business, and I'll probably always be that way.
Well, is there anything you do differently?
That I would do differently?
Yeah, if you had the chance to do it
I
over
would
again.
ask for more money earlier. I would have
I
stood
think that's
up.
universally
I would have stood up for myself.
good for you.
I
You and everybody else. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, right?
yeah. That's honestly, I don't have a lot of regrets. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I've had a really great career. I've worked with some marvelous people. I've made some fantastic friends. It has given me access into all kinds of events and situations that I would not have been able to participate had I not chose this career.
Right.
I'm super grateful for it.
One of those events that I know you've covered year after year after year, and I don't want to put too many years in there because
can.
that ages us all.
Yeah.
But the Academy Awards. Do you
Yeah.
have any favorite stories or memories from your coverage of the Academy Awards?
Well, that, again, like everything else, has changed dramatically. I mean, when I first went, I had the best access ever. I knew somebody at ABC, and I was like right on that carpet. I mean, I was next to Joan Rivers for a couple of years.
Nice.
And watched her do her thing, which
her
was great.
stuff.
And watched celebrities like make a big beeline around her sometimes because they didn't want to talk to her.
That's great.
But I'm telling you, the first year I was beside myself. I mean, I had no idea I was going to be that close to all these celebrities.
You were
it was
smitten.
Tom Hanks
Like, oh
and
my
Julia
gosh.
Roberts.
Oh, wow.
Steve Martin and just all these people. And I could hardly work. I could hardly contain myself because they were so close. And I remember there was one time I was there with some other journalists. This was maybe the second or third year. And there was John Travolta coming up. And they all said, oh, we got to get John Travolta. Okay. John. And we're all calling for him. And so he comes over, and then we all went, like nobody, we were all so starstruck. Nobody said anything. And he's just looking at us.
Just looking at
like,
you like,
somebody
what?
say something.
Right.
I can't remember who said something first. But we
That's
finally
funny.
went.
That's a
Yeah.
good story.
But those are
Oh,
years
wow.
ago. I mean, now it's been, I've been to like, I don't know how many, 30 maybe. So they're celebrities, old hat, So,
Sure.
but still fun. Again, that's something I would never get to do that. Be backstage at the Oscars.
Yeah, get paid
Right.
for it. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would never happen.
Incredible.
anywhere else, so,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, in addition to your broadcasting career, we know that you're involved with singing and performing. You have your own band that you started with your husband. You started it and then you met your husband. Is that how it worked?
Well, I met my husband in a band years ago before I was
Okay.
a broadcaster, and that's how we met. I joined his band.
Okay.
And so that was back in the 80s.
And what
So
was it always the same name, or did you change it at that point?
Yeah,
or-
no, that was a band called Secret Service, and we
Okay.
played like new wave, 80s, that kind of stuff.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what's the name of your band currently?
So new, it's Skyler's Pool,
Skyler's Pool.
which is a Breaking Bad reference, if anybody watched Breaking Bad, because we started the band about 8 or 9 years
We'll have
ago.
to watch that, John.
Yeah, I don't watch it. I don't know what it means, but I will figure it out.
Breaking Bad,
Oh, I
you've heard
heard
of
it's a
Breaking
great
Bad,
movie,
right?
yeah.
No, sure. I just
it's a
haven't watched
series.
it. Yeah.
It's one of those bingey kind of things. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, it was around the time that we were starting that band. And so, yeah, we've been around about 8 or 9 years. And
Do you have stuff online?
we
for people to
have
listen
music
to, or-
on, yes, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify.
Hey Dan, see if you could find
Amazon,
something there. You got your laptop in front of you.
Skyler's.
Skyler's, is it SKYLERS?
Apostrophe S.
And you
okay.
you play local community
Yes.
venues.
Yeah, we played.
Oh, you are busy, and you're also a philanthropist as well.
Well, I give a lot of time to public service.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
part of my job, I feel.
I would think that would
I'm happy
be
to do it. It's part
good
of
for
my
you. Okay, John, I found
Did
something.
you find something? Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's,
Let's
Where
take a
She
look at
Walks,
this.
I think.
Okay, sure. We shot this video in the old rail yards.
Oh, I've been there. Yeah,
Oh.
in downtown Sac.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. We used to overnight there, and I'd go down. We walked there from the hotel.
Oh,
and walk
really?
Around. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Let's take a listen, you guys.
Okay.
All right.
It's very nice. Is that you singing lead?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, we write. I mean, these are songs that we've written.
These are all original.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Sounds like a little indie rock
It's
influence
indie
there.
rock. That's what
I love it.
is.
I love it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we better cut out the music because we don't want to have to pay you
No,
royalties.
play more. Play more. We got approval for that, right? Do we have somebody
Yes.
sign? Okay.
We have oral approval.
We have the. That's great. Yeah,
Well, that's
beautiful
wonderful.
voice.
And with that, I think we're going to have to go, guys. We're kind of out of our
that's
time
too
limit.
bad.
Kitty,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here with us today. We really
thanks,
appreciate
thanks.
your showing up and telling us a little bit about yourself,
Yeah.
your career.
And I learned a little bit about Sacramento, so I feel a little bit smarter.
That's great.
As long as there's no test later, I'll be good.
You can leave anything smarter. That's a
Oh.
time well spent.
That's well said. Well, thank you so much, Kitty. It's been a pleasure.
John
Yes,
and Dan,
Kitty.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
She